You are listening to Smart Energy, a podcast dedicated to all things from the clean energy and e-mobility industry. Each episode, we invite key industry leaders, government and policy decision makers, tech innovators, entrepreneurs, and more to explore what's new, what's trending, what's coming up in the industry. The podcast puts the listeners to be in the know, trigger important conversations, and provide information for usable action steps. I, Santosh Khadkare, editor of Smart Energy magazine, and your host, welcome you all to the brand new episode of Smart Energy podcast. In the modern era of transformation, IoT, artificial intelligence, and smart manufacturing are just some of the technological innovations that are part of what has been called the fourth industrial revolution. One such company that is not just passionate about the technology but has its focus on the people and is leading the Industry 4 revolution in India is Jendamark. Today we have invited Himanshu Jadhav, CEO and Director of Jendamark India, as the guest on the podcast. Being the CEO and Director of Jendamark, Himanshu has almost 18 years of successful experience providing strategic, physical and operations leadership in unique, challenging situations. He is a dynamic, result-oriented leader with a strong track record of performance in turnaround and high-paced organizations. We will be speaking with him on his formative years before he joined Jendamark and his transformative journey that has not only helped Jendamark create a brand name for itself in India but has also led the company on the growth path. We will also discuss with him on innovative solutions that the company offers for the emerging EV, battery manufacturing and hydrogen energy industry. Himanshu Jadhav, welcome to the Smart Energy podcast.
Thank you, Santosh. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure and honor to be on this podcast as well.
Before we dive deep into the world of technology and digital transformation or Industry 4, can you take our listeners through your earlier journey, that is, before you joined Jendamark?
Yes, of course. My journey is a typical middle class family origin where, as we all have experienced, education is of prime importance. So, obviously, in my family, as I grew up as well, a lot of emphasis was laid on education, getting the right education competitively as well. So, with that mindset, I excelled in my studies, followed it up with engineering in mechanical. Then I was lucky to get selected in one of the first batch of GETs, which got recruited in Tata Motors from my college. After a stint of almost 5 years in Tata Motors, after Volkswagen India, almost 8-9 years, I decided to join Jendamark in 2016. So over the entire journey since my schooling till now, to be honest, I've been blessed to have good influencers and well-wishers who have supported me in this journey till date, and I'm quite thankful about all those individuals who have shaped where I am today.
Thank you for taking our listeners through your journey. And I would like to add one thing here, and that is, in addition to the well-wishers, it's also about your passion, dedication and hard work that has made you what you are today. From leading and growing the company to creating a brand identity for an unknown company, how would you sum up your journey at Jendamark?
Jendamark was an unknown company in India, but globally it was a quite well-known, established brand providing automation solutions worldwide from South Africa to Europe, US, and rest of the world. It was only in India it was a bit of unknown. My discovery with Jendamark started when I visited South Africa in 2010, and that's when I came across these wonderful guys from Jendamark, South Africa, who are very open, honest, transparent, hardworking. which actually resonated with what my way of working and thinking as well was. So that's how the association grew with Jendamark. And for almost 6 years, we were working together. But I was part of Volkswagen then. And yeah, in terms of summing up my journey with Jendamark so far, it's been extremely exhilarating, hustling, purposeful. More importantly, I think it's given me an opportunity to broaden my meaning and my definition of life and what I would like to do in life in general. Of course, we are all tech company. We are providing technology, but on a higher level, we are getting a lot of purpose, and I feel I have found purpose in a lot of things which I am doing with Jendama. There were some lessons, of course, there are always ups and downs, but the overall purpose and the intent has been really amazing to work in Jendama.
I would like to inform all the listeners that, as mentioned by Mr. Himanshu, Jendamark Automation has an international presence in South Africa, India, and Germany, and a sales office in the USA. Moving on, Jendamark is recognized as a pioneer of Industry 4 revolution in India. Can you brief our listeners about the different products and solutions that you offer and the different industries you cater to?
Yes, we are actually known as pioneers in Industry 4.0 in India. I think that's primarily, but because of our approach to Industry 4.0 in general. So we have what we proudly claim is a human centric approach in Industry 4.0, which is what is the distinguishing factor between the solutions offered in India by other industry players and by Gendamark. So why human centric? Because we are a country with a ever growing young population. Our dynamics, our social economic problems are all revolving around the human capital that we have. And as much as we feel and we would like to have automation as a mainstay, we cannot and we should not oversight the power of an individual human and what it brings to the table or he or she brings to the table. And that's why we developed a suite of products under the brand name of Odin, which are actually enabling, energizing, and increasing the efficiency of humans who are involved in the manufacturing sector to start with. And to answer the second part of your question, which different industries? We are open to any industry. Primarily, right now, we are obviously focusing on automotive sector. But to be honest, manufacturing sector at large, whether it is manufacturing of pharmaceutical goods, white goods, bottling plants, anything which involves manufacturing, our product suite of Odin is well received in all those industries as well.
Great to know about the human centric approach at Gendermark, and I believe it's always the combination of technology and people centric approach that creates great brands and companies. As I understand, Gendermark's primary business comes from automotive sector. How is Gendermark catering to the needs of the emerging sector like EV?
Innovation, I think that's the only way which we are able to support and we are able to provide solutions to emerging sector like EV and ESS, energy storage systems, is innovation. We have provided battery pack lines, motor lines, inverter lines, e-transmission, e-axle lines to many customers over last 3-4 years. What we realize are the challenges which this emerging EV sector faces and how we are able to solve those challenges. See, providing only automation solutions or equipment is not going to solve the challenges of an emerging sector like electric vehicles, because we have got a range of variables. So some companies want low cost, low volume. Some companies want high volume, highly complex solutions. The range is quite a lot. What we have kept consistent across the entire range is our process security for making these products for our customers. So all the assembly lines, all the solutions which we provide are ensuring that our customer doesn't have to worry about making a good product in either low or high volumes, either with low automation or with high automation. I think process security is one of the biggest deliverables or one of the key factors and differentiators in our offerings. We also understand the financial challenges which come up with emerging sector like EV. We have various models, financing models. So whereas we have got software on license model, we have also leasing of the line and equipments. These kind of licensing and leasing models actually allow a bootstrap company or a startup company to have low cost in the initial phase, where we have realized that these companies are really innovative companies who have developed a good product, but initial investment is a bit of a issue for them, and so these licensing leasing models actually allow them to focus on their mainstay, which is R&D and product, and not worry about financing. As the product grows, as the volumes come in, automatically the sales will result in better finances. So that is our contribution to these bootstrap companies. In addition, we are also giving to OEMs as well consultation in setting up EV factories. That's from our experience internationally and locally as well, and of course our expertise in setting up factories. So we are happy to consult any company when in EV specifically of what to how to go about setting up a EV factory. Maybe it's a three-wheeler, two-wheeler, so that we are able to offer them from our experience the expertise which probably sometimes they're looking for. So like I said, it's not just about providing assembly lines and machines. It's solving the financial issues, consulting them on setting up EV factories, and that is what we are focusing as a wholesome solution for our customers.
It's nice to know about the solutions Jendamark has come up with to address the key challenges faced by the entrepreneurs and bootstrap companies from the EV sector. We are seeing a lot of policy support, push, and customer preference towards adoption of EVs. How do you see the EV sector in India? And going forward, what are the opportunities in the EV sector that you at Jendamark are getting ready for?
The EV sector is here to stay and grow. I know there is a lot of talk on whether it's a big bubble or it's going to the boom is going to go away. But I honestly believe that the EV sector is here to stay, because what we are experiencing is a big transition. In a span of almost 20-25 years, even the fuel price has gone up 6 times, and which is indicator that it's not going to slow down and it's only going to increase. Apart from that, the pollution factor which the IC engine or IC vehicles bring in is also needs to be addressed. I do understand, and I think what we need to work on is creating renewable energy to power our EVs. That's the main thing what I see happening in India, where we should be focusing on. And from a Gendamark India perspective, I think it's very simple. We are a very vocal for local company. We are creating local solutions in India for specifically catering to a developing economy where EVs are going to enter, especially not just in India, in Africa as well. We are seeing EVs now are slowly but steadily making their mark. Where we are focusing on, like I mentioned before, also is innovations and R&D. So we have got a dedicated R&D department globally, which is working on making innovative solutions, which is primarily cell assembly, because we already have battery pack, but cell assembly is something which we are working in the back end in R&D, making a lot of solutions which currently are imported from either Europe, US, or from China, and we would like to offer them from Indian entity in India itself. So we are working on making innovative local SPMs catering to the EV industry. The another topic which we are working definitely on is lowering the lead time to delivery, because time to market in EV is the key to success. There is a lot of challenge involved in lowering the lead times because of the uncertain supply from electronic goods because of the semiconductor and the chip shortage issue. But we are trying our different solutions where we are able to even cater to that challenge and solve it successfully for our customers.
Great to know about the emphasis at Gendamark on R&D and innovation and being vocal for local. In addition to the manufacturing of EVs, we see a lot of opportunities that are coming up in the battery business. What would you advise to the entrepreneurs that are looking to enter into battery manufacturing or assembly business?
Definitely, it's a opportunity for sure, but please be cautious about your product. You don't. You. I think engineering R&D is a key ingredient which is going to be the only way forward, and only those companies who have focus on developing on their own a good product will be sustainable in the market in the coming years. Companies who are looking, or entrepreneurs who are looking for a quick turnaround, importing stuff, selling stuff from imports in India, already are seeing a problem because the government has now let's say tightened a few measures. We are already seeing in the news certain subsidies being revoked. The new policies coming from the government to make EVs more safe for the humans. That's kicking in 1st April, the AIS 156 and its amendments. All of this basically means companies only who have a sustainable, strong product will remain, and rest will perish. So that is what I feel on the manufacturing side. So focus on engineering and developing your own products. On the assembly side, if you don't have your own product and you want to still grow in the EV world, I think securing a good supply chain is essential. So basically, for contract manufacturers who are assembling somebody else's product or for somebody else, it's absolutely fine. But as long as you have a secure supply chain, one, and more importantly, you have a state of art assembly line solution to assemble the product in the right way. Because like we always say, in most companies what we are seeing, that companies are spending a lot of time and energy in developing a product one off, getting it certified and qualified, but then when they hand over to a contract manufacturer or to somebody else to manufacture their products, they don't do the due diligence which is necessary to make sure that the hundreds and thousands of those products made are also of the same quality and meet the same classification or requirements which were initially set up. For guys who are going to assemble, please make sure you invest in the right kind of solutions. There are low hanging fruits coming from other countries, but we are now seeing that those are not sustainable. You have to look at sustainable manufacturing assembly line solutions who can support you over the next decade or so. So that's what would be my simple advice to entrepreneurs for manufacturing and or for assembly of EV components.
Share your experience of working with Hero Yama Corp, where Jendamark has delivered high volume e cycle assembly line for the company. What were the challenges in delivering the project and how did you overcome the challenges?
I think it was a very exciting project, exciting 6 months. I think that was a record for even us to deliver high volume e motor line for the Hero Yamaha joint venture, which was quite amazing for us to work. The challenges were, well, to be honest, parallel project product development. So it was a product which is getting developed. At the same time, we were developing the line, not only developing in parallel to the product development, but also in the shortest possible time because deadlines were strict and straight. We had to have the plant opening along with our line and the component being made on our line on 15th of December. So we had a clear directive of what we want to do. I think the team put together from Jendamark was a fantastic team. We chose, and we have the guys who actually not just overcome, but they love and they thrive in such challenges. There are always individuals in a company who will raise their hands and come forward, and that's what differentiates Jendamark in many terms on our people aspect as well, is excitement when such challenges come up in the company. And I always feel privileged to be part of such kind or lead such kind of an organization where I don't have to worry about who's standing behind me. And I think that's key reason why we could deliver. We also got fantastic support from the Hero Motors and Hero Yamaha team who were working with us on our floor as well. And we never felt them as customers. They were more like our partners, working with us, staying with us, sleeping on the floor with us, to be honest, and delivering together a very successful project for their own company and for us as well. So in the end, it was a teamwork. Everyone involved from our partners as well. I must not forget to mention our partners, our suppliers, who also stood up to the challenge. to ensure that we get what we want in the time what we want. So overall, it was a very good team effort from everyone to deliver a world class solution to Hero Yamaha Corp.
How would you define success for yourself and your company? Where do you see Gendermark in the next 5 to 10 years?
Where do I see Jendamark in 5 to 10 years? To be honest, I don't know. Very honest, because 6 years back when I joined Jendamark, if somebody told me that this is where we would be in December of 22, I wouldn't believe him or her. I think we are a evolving company. Even now, we think like a startup, we work like a startup, and I think that's coming from our DNA of being a company which always hustles. We hustle, we thrive in situations which are challenging. We venture into the areas where most people do not venture because the risks are too high. But like we always say that where there are high risk, that's where the opportunities actually lie as well. And in terms of in general success, I think I have mentioned this before. Everyone in Gendamark is aware of this, that we are not here to just get bigger, but we want to get better, and not just while getting better, we also want to get bolder. So getting bigger, getting better, and getting bolder is what success is for me, and it's a continuous process. It is not a one stop shop. So I think as we grow bigger, we'll get better, we'll get bolder, and that for me will be a ultimate definition of a successful journey in this process.
A big thank you, Himanshu, and appreciate your time for joining us on the podcast. It was fantastic speaking with you. We look forward to more such interactions in the future.
Thank you very much, Santosh. It was a pleasure interacting with you as well, and I wish you also all the success in the coming year, and to all the listeners also a very happy new year.
Here we come to the end of this insightful episode of SmartEnergy podcast. We invite all our listeners to get involved and join in the conversation. If you have any questions about what you heard today, or want more information on any specific topic discussed today, you can drop a mail to me on santosh.smartenergy@gmail.com. Ask questions and keep the conversation going. And yes, if you like the podcast, don't forget to click on the subscribe button and recommend it to your industry colleagues. Thank you for tuning.